interrupt this transmission to bring you the following live broadcast.
How's everyone doing tonight? Woo! It's Wednesday. It's 6 o'clock somewhere. With
John
ready in his chair. And almost 10 whole people watching from home. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? It's time for the ThinkSoJoE Show!
Yeah, you're tired, I'm tired, everybody's tired. John's not here today. John's not here today, so yeah, you're tired, I'm tired, and I have to try and pull off 2 hours of a podcast without a co-host. And I've had nothing at all exciting happen to me in the last week, so this is not going to be too. I mean, last week was Christmas, but I was on the air on Christmas, and then I worked, and oh man, I am really not set up for this show. I literally just got dressed 5 minutes before I came on the air. I am not prepared for this at all. Hold on. Let's see here. We got camera hub. Display. Let's take a nap. Yeah, let's all take a nap. That's 2 hours of me just taking a nap. I'll figure out a way to program the music to just autoplay after 30 minutes or whatever. I don't think there's a way for me to do that, so I actually do have to stay awake and play the music. I could always just say, "Hey, I'm not doing the full 2 hours. Screw it. I'll just let's let's just call it after an hour." But yeah, anyway, I did not fully set up for this show. I haven't shared it to the Facebook yet. I am slipping today. We got a winter weather advisory for only 2 inches of snow. I don't mean to laugh, but that's hilarious. What the fuck am I even doing here? Something about chat. I'm gonna get the chat on that screen. There it is. Full screen on the prompter. There it is. Now I can see you guys. Except I can't see the chat for whatever reason. Chat's supposed to be up there. It ain't. Oh, there it is. Okay. Snow, that wannabe reggae rapper from Toronto. Informer, said it'd be snow, may I go blame. A licky boom boom down. That guy. That's Snow. So, XM Priory's been doing this countdown all week, and I saw them start at 5, and I jumped in their comments, and I'm like, $5 foot long, and they're like, yeah, no, you'll work it out. And I said, okay. And then yesterday they put 2. Yeah, I bet that's not a lot of snow. It really isn't. Let me turn off studio mode here. Okay. Yeah, it really isn't. Twitch thinks it's one. Okay, so yeah. So Twitch, you have to actually go in and manually change the email that it sends out for Twitch, or the notification, and I just haven't until last week, because I'm like, oh, I'm doing the Christmas special, and it still says I'm playing all these bands I played 12 months ago on the podcast. So now it's gonna probably just say, oh, the Christmas special. Until the end of time, or until next year's Christmas special, when I'm like, oh shit, I never changed that. Or I should just do what Tank the Tech does and just change it to let's go. I don't know. But yeah, it should be a 1 hour special. It's just me today. John's not making it. John is John's pretty good about making plans and then changing plans at the last minute. I have one job. Yeah. I have several jobs. I'm of course podcast host, voiceover guy, musician, solo artist when it comes to music. I haven't put out a solo song in a long time, but there's one in the works and I haven't finished it. And also, like right now, I've got Makeover coming out on March 15th, and I don't want to take away from that, so I'm just kind of chilling on doing solo music. And also, despite the fact that I have only been painting for about 2 weeks now, I've been offered to do a gallery. So I need to do more paintings. So I'm focused a lot on that. Plus, I was like super behind on voiceovers. I had a job due Friday that didn't get delivered till Monday night, I think. And in the meantime, I've just got this queue building up, and I'm like, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, and I got this, some revisions I gotta do. And the guy's like, when am I getting my revisions? And he messaged me, I think Friday, and I didn't get back to him till like Tuesday with the revision. Like, sorry, man, I'm so far behind. I'm caught up now. I do have one like really big job. I'm actually pausing orders tonight because we haven't really publicly said this, but Johnny and I are going out of town this week just to fucking get away from Buffalo for a couple of days. Mostly to go see the Christmas tree in New York before they take it down. Because I've always wanted to see the Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center, and John's like, hey, I got a new car. You want to go somewhere? I'm like, let's go to New York. So, yeah, we're going to do that. Which will, one, make me have to break from voiceovers for a couple of days, and two, will stop me from painting for a couple of days. Which one? What a cool picture behind you. Which one? There's two. I got my whole, like, my palette and everything is, like, directly behind me. But I'm like, it won't be on camera, but I'll be in the way. You can see, like, my fucking cutting mats and my fucking tape and... I don't know what the hell's under M&M there. Oh, that's a power bank. Do I have a list of good wrestling belt designs? Check out Wrestle with Andy on YouTube. I believe we just did one of those. Somebody commented. I don't know. I think it was last week's podcast, like the YouTube video for last week's podcast. They're like, hey man, how come you're not in the latest Wrestle with Andy video? And I'm like, I'm not, like, I don't know. So I went and I watched. I'm like, hey, that's not me. And all the comments are like, oh, where's the other guy? So I shot a message to Andy and I'm like, dude, somebody just commented on one of my YouTube videos asking why I wasn't on your YouTube video. And he goes, yeah, man, I just wanted to give you a break. Like, yeah, I appreciate it. And then we've done like, I think 4 in the last like 5 days. So, lots of Wrestle with Andy content coming out, if it hasn't already. So, do I have a list of good wrestling belt designs? The one and only good wrestling belt design. Nah, that's not true. There were a lot. There's been some good ones. I'm a big fan of the Winged Eagle. I was actually considering putting my Kevin Owens painting in here, of Kevin Owens with the Winged Eagle. I've actually got all the classics in here. You can actually kind of see them. There's the WWE Big Eagle right about here. The Big Gold is right here. The ECW title is behind Taylor Swift. I believe that's the Hardcore Championship up in the top right there. But yeah, the old the Winged Eagle is always my favorite belt. And oh god. 24/7. Anyway, the Winged Eagle was always my favorite belt, followed closely by the Intercontinental. The Big Gold is obviously a classic. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a total fucking wrestling belt mark. So when Andy gave me that list, I'm like, I'm gonna be judging you while I'm reading this, you know. But yeah, that was that was part of my last couple of weeks of lots of work and I've been trying to paint in between jobs, and then I get caught up in painting, and while I've been painting, I've been watching Pop Culture Jeopardy, because my brother and Steph and we all applied to be a team on Pop Culture Jeopardy, and we didn't get it, so I'm just watching it like, how well would we have done on this? Attitude Era IC title, more than the awful 80s one. Oof. The Attitude Era belts weren't terrible. I mean, they kept the tag team title designs, which were, classics. And I love that the SmackDown tag team titles now, the WWE tag team titles now pay homage to that, as opposed to the pizza belts on Monday Night Raw. But like, yeah, the Intercontinental was my least favorite out of those, but the WWE, the Big Eagle, it was a great belt. I probably didn't appreciate it at first. Like, why are they changing the belts? And then, but, and then the Undisputed belt, when it first dropped, it's like, oh man, that's an ugly fucking belt. And then they made like different versions of it, and like the later versions looked like the one Eddie Guerrero had looked great. But yeah, I've been watching Pop Culture Jeopardy because I'm like, how good or bad would my team have done on this? And I'm just like, a lot of the stuff I wouldn't know. Like, I feel like Steph would have known. Or, and the stuff that Steph and I wouldn't know, I'm sure my brother might have been able to fill in those knowledge gaps. So I think we would have done okay if we would have gotten it. But I think we all bombed the entry quiz. So, it is what it is. But it's been a fun show to watch. The lightweight more than the attitude. No. The WWE Cruiserweight belt, though, does not get enough love. That light heavyweight title, not so much. The one of my favorites, and I think it was in the end. I think it was in the video. One of my favorites is the WCW US title. I've always wanted a replica of that. I still don't have one. I only own, aside from the mini belts up here, like I only own one replica belt, and before that, I used to own a Cruiserweight replica. Way back in the day, it had the Hurricane nameplate on it. But the only replica I own now is the Winged Eagle dual-plated edition, which was the one that was presented at WrestleMania 4 when Macho Man won the title. And that was a thing when I was younger and I was just working like 9-to-5 jobs, and I'm like, I'm looking at like shit, what the fuck the guy's name? I'm Dave Milliken. I'm looking at Dave Milliken's website, and he's making custom like reproductions of classic titles. Did I list I didn't list the NWA title. I don't mind the NWA title, but that was I did not write that list. So, hello, John. Yeah. But when I was younger and I was working like 9-to-5 jobs and I was broke as fuck, and I'm looking at Dave Milliken's website, and he's like selling reproductions of belts he had made, and one of the ones I saw was the WrestleMania 4 Winged Eagle, where it's dual plated and it's got the Relief World title, and the paint is not, it's not painted in behind the word heavyweight. And I'm like, when I eventually, if I get somewhere where I can afford that, that's what I want. And then I never quite got to have like Dave Milliken make me a version of it, but WWE Shop released a version of it, and at the time it was like the best belt that they had ever done, because it was one of the first that they actually put like backing over the screws on the back, so it didn't look like a replica title. You could still tell, and you can tell like on TV now on SmackDown with Kevin Owens with the Winged Eagle, that's a replica title, because the leather isn't as like floppy and flexible as like the, say Cody's belt. But anyway, talking about wrestling belts today because Laura brought it up, because I did a video for Wrestle with Andy about wrestling belts. I did like the top 10 tech camping gadgets or some shit, but why aren't we talking about that? I do all kinds of, I don't just do wrestling voiceovers. Make the show an hour, I'm taking a nap in 45 minutes. If I'm going to make the show an hour, I got to go to a song break now. But I'm gonna try and power through the whole 2 hours. I put it on Facebook that I'm trying to power through the whole 2 hours because I did an hour last week, and everybody's like, "Oh no, do another hour, And I'm like, no, I don't want to. It's Christmas. I want to go watch Christmas movies and finish this audio book that's due in 2 days, And so this week I'm like, no, I'm gonna do the full 2 hours. When I first, I was expecting to have a co-host today, but then that fell through as of yesterday. But that's neither here nor there. John gets days off. I still have a show to do, and if I hadn't kind of woke up at 3:00 and put in the, did I watch? No, I did not watch Home Alone 5. I barely watched Home Alone 2 this year. Like Home Alone was the first Christmas movie I watched. I skipped a lot of movies this year. Like I watched Home Alone 2. No, Home Alone 1 I watched. That was the first one. I think I watched Elf next, and then Gremlins, Jingle All the Way, Christmas Vacation, The Grinch, not the full-length movies, the classic like television special, which my kid once again reminded me that she likes the movie better, which I think I failed as a parent on that one. But and then Flintstones Christmas Carol, Muppets Christmas Carol, the Flintstones Christmas special where Fred falls off the roof or Santa falls off the roof and Fred and Barney got to fill in. I saw Home Alone 5 was on Disney Plus, but it looked so weird. I wanted no part of it. Yeah, no, that's so I think Brian watched like Home Alone 3 and he's like, yeah, I'm not watching any more of these. Star Wars special. No, I didn't watch the Star Wars special. I watched a lot of Christmas commercials. Well, I guess not a lot, but it never feels like Christmas to me until that Home Alone. This is how awake I am. It doesn't feel like Christmas to me until the Fruity Pebbles commercial. I see the Fruity Pebbles commercial. And I don't see it on TV anymore, so I got to watch it on YouTube. But some of the YouTube versions are the newer version where the Santa voice changed. So it's like, it's weird, So I have to listen to the one from like the 90s, like, oh, here comes you know who. And apparently they've changed the Hershey Kiss Christmas commercial now. I haven't seen it, but I saw a video making fun of it. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, nobody's gonna want it. We went to one of those holiday light program houses that had the Star Wars Christmas special in it. Nice. Yeah, I didn't do shit for Christmas. I did the live stream. You guys were with me all Christmas. I did the live stream Tuesday night on Christmas Eve, and I did the thing. I should do it. Why didn't I do a New Year's stream last night? Aside from the fact that I was asleep by midnight. I went out yesterday. I bought some art supplies. Got back home. And then I was like, I got nothing to do for a little bit. I'm going to take a nap. So I took a nap, and then I woke up late. And like by the time I woke up, John's calling me. He's like, hey, buddy, you coming with us tonight? I'm like, dude, I fell asleep. I just woke up. I haven't shaved. I haven't showered. I ain't going nowhere, man. Sorry. Like I would love to go with you guys, but I'm gonna chill home tonight, watch TV. And then I fell asleep again. And then I woke up when there was fireworks going off at midnight. So, yeah, that was my New Year's. So, I was just glad for a day that I didn't have to fucking do paperwork for a lawyer. But that's besides the point. That's been the end of my 2024, and now welcome to 2025. So, I don't do the resolutions thing. I set goals. But I don't do like, well, in 2025, I'm gonna go to the gym. In 2025, I'm gonna. John and I are technically supposed to have stopped drinking Pepsi today, but we agreed that since we're going to New York this weekend, we're allowed to drink Pepsi on the way. Plus, I have to kill off this 6-pack. So, what a fucking year! Yeah, what a fucking year. I got to do some cool shit in 2024. I got to open for Green Jello in Rochester. Finally, because that was the third time I was supposed to open for Green Jello in Rochester. I got to go and play again in Rochester. I got to play Rochester a couple of times, which was cool. Met some good contacts for out of town shows, thanks in part to our friends in Bastard. We got to celebrate 5 years of the Living Brain Dead with amazing bands like the Spit Sisters and Broken Locker and Rags to Stitches. That's been your goal for every year, and you have failed miserably at it. To get the show canceled, and at least the get the show canceled part. I'm clearly still here. Whether I want to be or not, that's another story. It's like, no, I have to do content. I have to get out of bed. I have to do a show. We canceled like the 2 before Christmas. I can't cancel another one. I've got to do a show. And but like, I knew John wasn't coming. Make it happen. Bastard and LBD tour. Make it happen. We were trying to get, I was half jokingly trying to get On the Cinder to take us with them on tour. Cause they go like everywhere and they go like once a year and we're like, yeah, let's fucking go. Yeah, make it happen. Invite us and we'll see if we can do it. I mean, that's, my schedule's pretty wide open. So, and John's schedule is pretty wide open. So it's a matter of everybody else's schedule working out. But yeah, I mean, I got to do some cool shit last year, and hopefully getting to do some cool shit again this year coming up. And I get to go back to New York in a couple of days, so that's cool. I haven't been to New York in 2 years, year and a half anyway. It's been since like August of 2022, but 2023 rather. John needs a new gimmick when he returns. Yeah, we'll repackage him. We'll get him. Repackage him, give him a new push, put him in the ring 1-on-1 with The Undertaker. I took John to a wrestling show during the course of the last year. We went and saw Empire State Wrestling at Riverworks, and it was in one of the rinks instead of inside the main building where like I've usually seen wrestling shows there. And which was interesting. And like every time a dude comes out, I'm like, John, you could take that guy. John, you could take that guy. Big world heavyweight champion, big time Bill Collar. He's a big fucking dude. I'm like, yeah, you could beat that dude. He's like, what do you mean I could beat that dude? Dude, krill me. I'm like, no, man, you're speedy. You could beat him. He'll get tired out quick because he's big. And yeah. So, and then John was like, hype videos for John. Yeah. John was like, oh, I'm going to call the number. I'm going to go be a wrestler. I'm going to train to be a wrestler. I'm like, dude, you're in your fucking mid 30s. He's like, Batista did it. I'm like, have you seen Dave Batista? Like before he lost all the weight, when he became a wrestler, how big that fucking dude was. You are not Dave Batista, bro. The DDP did it. Like, okay, fair enough. We could bring Jay the Skeleton back. I'm pretty sure John said that Jay the Skeleton is like gone, like not coming back ever. So I don't know. We could find out. You never say never. Yeah, I know. DDP was 36. John just needs to be a clown for wrestling. Well, we've already had wrestling clowns. Oh no, we could send John to Mexico. He could be part of the Psycho Circus. Yeah. I don't know. John is terrified of clowns, but I was hyping him up. I'm like, yeah, dude, you could beat these guys. You could take that guy. Like, look at that dude. He's skinnier than you are. Like, you could beat him. And then we saw that dude later, like after the show, and he was on crutches. I'm like, yeah, we're not letting you wrestle. Like, we need you to not be on crutches because you are a drummer, and we need you to be a drummer. What did you miss? I took John to see wrestling, and he was like, I could be a wrestler, and then I kept trying to convince him he could beat all the big dudes. He's like, oh, if I became a wrestler, you'd be at every show making fun of me. Like, yeah, I probably would. Actually, I was at his show the other day. He played with his other band. Saturday night, I was there. I was making fun of him, and then I left. I left right after. I told him I was only going for his band. Like, I didn't want to see any of the rest of the shit. Every fucking band on the bill's got a fucking laptop. So I'm watching this first band, and you can clearly hear somebody plucking a bass, but there's 2 guitar players, a singer, and a drummer on stage. It's like, oh, yeah, their entire bass sound is coming from their fucking laptop. John couldn't beat Funaki. And then John's band comes up, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna keep an open mind here. I don't, I'm here because you guys told me like 6 months ago. Actually, it was at the Newfound Glory show. They told me when the show was. And so I was like, all right, I will be there. It's on my calendar. It has been on my calendar. I'm like, I will be there on the 28th to watch you play, and I will be up front judging you. And so the first band plays. I'm making fun. I'm talking to Jill. I'm making fun of them. I'm like, there was no bass player. There's bass, but there's no bass player. Nobody's playing these bass lines. And so I'm like, so then John's band is setting up. So I go find a nice spot right up against the guardrail. I'm just standing there right in front of John, because it was a national headliner. So there's, they've already got their drums up, so John's off to the side. So I'm right in front of John, and I'm waiting for his set to start, while the rest of his band are standing around their laptop. And they can't play without the laptop because it's got all their backing tracks and everything on it, and they need. I'm like, so I said to John after, I'm like, dude, just learn the songs, so if something like that happens, you guys don't have to rely on it. But while I'm watching them, I'm hearing somebody playing keys. I'm like, they don't have a keyboardist. I shouldn't hear keys. Maybe it's me being old. Maybe I'm just an old dude, and I'm just like, who's better, Prince Albert, A-Train, or Lord Tensai? A-Train. That was his best run, was when he was A-Train, I think. But yeah, maybe it's just me being old, but I think if you can't do your set without your laptop, and you're not a DJ, I don't know. But and that's not a knock on John's band. I really I enjoyed their set once they finally got their tech issues worked out and started playing. And but yeah, I was making fun. I was just fucking with John the whole time. Like, I'm standing up front, and he's like taking a picture of me. And so I sent him a text because I knew he had his phone in his hand. So I texted him, "Don't suck." He was all right. He did all right. I think they're better live than they are on their album, or the recorded stuff that I've heard, and which is what we were really trying to avoid with Makeover, which is coming out March 15th. Was we were trying to make it like, we were like, no, we need it to sound like us. Just, you know, like a little more polished, you know, but it needs to sound like us. We don't want people coming to the shows and like, oh man, these guys are so much better live. I don't want to do that. You know, I want to be, you know, I want you to be able to listen to us and be like, oh man, this band is fucking badass. I got to go see them. And then you see us and you're like, you know, oh man, they're just as good as on the record. Or better, I guess. I don't know. I guess it's not a bad thing to be better live than on the record because then you drop you. I don't fucking know. All I know is that coming up Friday at the Kaz, 2221 Seneca Street, Buffalo, New York, right around the corner from me here. That is, it is Grace Greenan, along with Addisyn, Logan, and Amelia Cook. Doors to open at 6. The show is at 7. It is all ages. I don't think I want to know what the tickets cost because that place is a little pricey. $25 to get in. Grace Greenan's been like all over the place. Like I would have played her, but I feel like she's bigger now than what I can get away with playing without Scott yelling at me. So, so we went with one of her openers, which is Addisyn Logan. And this song is called I Can't Beg on all WNY. ThinkSoJoE show. I gotta reach all the way over here.
Just another heart you could collect, right? Fine, could blame it on the time or your confidence, so you could draw a line with some respect, right? Been trying to tell you we go over again and over again. Oh, you think I couldn't tell that you were trying to pretend you were second guessing? Going at it again, make me feel whole again, but you were in your head, so what can I say to that? I can't beg someone to want me back. I made up my mind before we met. I wouldn't let you pass my surfaces. I lost that fight. Why would you waste my time with all this shit? Did I just become something you regret tonight? Been trying to tell you we go over again and over again. Oh, you think I couldn't tell that you were trying to pretend you were second guessing? Going at it again, make me feel whole again, but you were in your head, so what can I say to that? I can't beg someone to want me back. You told me to jump, I knew that I'd fall, but you didn't catch I said no? What if I stayed home? I'd be left with my thoughts, but I'd still feel less alone. I think of my old self, that's someone I don't know. How could I forget her? She was my home. I'm assembling walls, I'm thickening my skin. I hope that someday I'm happy again. Been trying to tell you how we go over again and over again. Oh, did you think I couldn't tell that you were trying to pretend you were second guessing? Going at it again, make me feel whole again. But you were in your head, so what can I say to that? I can't beg someone to want me back. I can't beg someone to want me back.
That was Addisyn Logan on all WNY Think So Joe show. The song called I Can't Beg. She's playing at the Kaz on Friday night with Grace Greenan and Amelia Cook. Doors at 6, show at 7. It's $25 online right now. In the Kaz, right around the corner. It's the old M&T Bank building. I have not been in there yet. I'm half tempted to buy a ticket to this and just go and be like, yo, oh no, I'm out of town. I can't. Shit. Okay, never mind then. It was a very pretty song. I was thinking I could go, but I can't. I'm literally not gonna be here. So, oh well, maybe the next time something cool comes to the Kaz, I'll go check it out. I've been dying to see this venue because it's like literally around the corner from me. Like John and I got a flat tire, like in the parking lot behind the bank next door to it. and we're just seeing all these people like pulling into this parking lot at like 7 o'clock at night of this bank parking lot. We're like, why is everybody coming to the bank at 7 o'clock at night? And we realized like, oh no, there's actually a fucking show at the Kaz. These people are here to fucking see a band play. And I'm like, let's go in. Let's go check the venue out. Let's go see the band while we're waiting for AAA. They'll text you, you know. And turned out the tickets were like $25. I'm like, let's not go see the band. Like, because it wasn't like an artist like a Grace Greenan who doesn't play here all the time anymore. Like, it was a band who plays like every week, everywhere. And you could go see them you could see them like next week for $5 somewhere instead of paying $25. So, you know, it was not, in my opinion, worth the money to, especially like if we were just trying to kill time while we were waiting for AAA. Like if we were just going to go in and then AAA is going to come out and change the tire and then we're going to drive off. Like, you know, what are we going to do? We're going to go see 2 or 3 songs while we're waiting for the AAA guy. But yeah, we ended up getting out of there a little while later. They had to put the donut on John's car because there was a guy who offered to help. Like saw us there. He's like, yo, you guys got a flat? Like, yeah. He's like, yo, I could help. And then we opened up the trunk to get the jack out. He's like, oh man, I don't know how to use this jack. And I'm like, looking at the jack, I'm like, yeah, I know how to use this jack. I just don't know where to put it under the car, and I don't want to fuck your car up. So we waited for AAA to come do it. Or did they tow him? No, they put a donut on. Yeah, they put the donut on, and he had to go get all 4 tires replaced the next day. Because, like, they were all really shitty. He had just gotten the car, too, so. But, yeah, we were going to, but I was thinking of going, when am I going to paint Trent Reznor? Probably eventually. Right now, I'm on a break from this TRL collection. So I've done a number of artists that were popular on Total Request Live, like had videos in constant rotation. So I've done Britney Spears, specifically, Oops, I Did It Again, Britney Spears. 8 Mile Eminem over here. I did a Blink 182 and a Green Day and a Spice Girls. And I'm gonna get back to that collection. Just I ran out of the stuff to make the full-size stencils. Or so I thought. So I was like, if I had an auto repair shop, what would I call it? Why would I have an auto repair shop? I don't know the first thing about cars. Which is part of the reason I don't own one. It's because I don't know shit about them. But yeah, so I was doing the TRL collection, and then I was like, I'm out of the material I need. But I thought I had like 12 by 12 sheets of the material, so I couldn't do like the 11 by 14 size paintings. So I ordered some 10 by 10 canvas. I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, I'll just use up these 12 by 12 sheets, and I'll see if I can order bulk of the stuff I usually use, which I went on, and the manufacturer was like, yeah, you can order 30-foot rolls for like $12 each. And I was paying like $5 for 4-foot rolls. So out of each 4-foot roll, I can do like a painting and a half of the 11 by 14s. So I was like, so I was buying like 2 rolls at a time. So I'm doing 3 paintings at a time. And if you get the stuff from Walmart, it's like $5 for a 4-foot roll. So I'm paying $10 to do 3 paintings. So with shipping, it ended up costing me like 30 something bucks to get 2 rolls, 2 30-foot rolls, which will get me a total of 26 paintings, about somewhere around there. And that's not accounting like if I'm doing colors like I did in the Taylor Swift one, where I gotta cut the actual, like, I gotta cut a stencil for the colors too, which I've been trying to minimize how much I actually have to use for colors. But the problem is that shit's not getting here till Monday. So I was like, I ordered that shit, but now I gotta wait. So I'll just use these 12 by 12 sheets I found. Well, it turned out the 12 by 12 sheets were not the material I needed. It was actually heat transfer vinyl that I had ordered individual sheets from when we were doing the like Pride series of Living Brain Dead shirts, and I was going to do them myself, which was actually the catalyst for why we got the on-demand print partner, and actually have some really cool shit in our merch store right now. And also on the ThinkSoJoE, merch.thinksojoe.com. Which, didn't I think I added some shit to that, didn't I? I might have, I don't know. Maybe. I don't remember. Merch.thinksojoe.com. If Maximo's listening, there's your AMSR keyboard stuff here. Did we add new shit? Oh, yeah, I did. I totally did. Sort by latest. I added the bootleg barbecue shirt. And also, John and I as the Sticky Bandits t-shirt. But anyway. So it turned out, yeah, I have these 12 by 12 sheets are not at all useful for doing paintings. They are, if I want to make some t-shirts, they'll be great, but not so much for paintings. So it was like, what do I do then? Like, how do I, I'm going to have to buy more shit. And then I was like, wait, don't I have like a whole ass box of sample rolls of this shit? And so I went and I found the box, and sure enough, there's a shit ton of this stuff. So I can make a ton of paintings. My only problem is, like, the shit I have doesn't adhere to the canvas as well as the shit I ordered. So, but then I also had somebody reach out like, hey man, do you do like customs? So I was like, well, you know, what do you have in mind? He's like, do you do commissions? I was like, well, what do you have in mind? And he was like, can you do Mick Foley as Mankind? Like 1996 beating up the Undertaker Mankind, or like 1998 wearing a sock on his hand and teaming with the Rock Mankind? Like which Mankind are we talking about here? And he was like, and then I just went and did the 1996 Mankind, and he saw it and he's like, yeah, that's what I want. Like, all right, cool. So I made it. I gave him a price, and he was like, yeah, man, yeah. Wait till I get paid. No, I'll like, yeah, okay, no problem, man. Like, so as soon as he pays me for that, that makes me a professional artist. So I went from like I'm just painting shit to hang in my living room, or like I did a series of street art of the band to like hang in the band space, and I went from like, yeah, I'm just doing this as something to do, to like I think I want to do this to make some money, and I went from like, I'm gonna do this to make some money, to like, hey, I'm a professional artist now in the span of 2 weeks, and I got offered a gallery. So which was actually, I had posted on Facebook that I think one of my goals for 2025 was that I wanted to do a gallery / DJ show. And so I started doing the Total Request Live stuff, because it's like, if I do the TRL stuff, I know this stuff. Like I will go do a TRL DJ set. In fact, my last DJ set was the MTV era, where we played like all the stuff that was from like 85 through like 2005. But this is going to be limited to like songs that that were popular around TRL. Unfortunately, there's not like a list of songs that were on TRL. But like, I was around for that era, so I know like, we're going to do some Britney Spears and some Eminem and some Blink-182 and some Offspring and some Spice Girls and Backstreet and NSYNC and all that. So, I was posting some paintings, and I don't remember which one it was that the comment came through on, but it was, hey, do you should do a gallery here. And it's like, well, I did say I want to do a gallery / DJ set, and they're like, let's do it. So I got to set that up. I got to come up with a time frame for when I want to do that, but I also got to do a lot more paintings to get there. And also I got to figure out how to like actually properly seal these paintings. So that was actually part of what I did yesterday. I actually went out with the intent of, one, I want to get a good like tan color paint, because I don't have any browns. Or actually, that's not true. I have dark chocolate colored paint. But I wanted a lighter brown, so I was like, I'm gonna go buy some brown paint. I'm gonna get some new mats for the cutting machine, because all my 12 by 12 mats are all fucked. And like I wanted to get some other, like there was some other shit I wanted to get. One of the other things I wanted to get was like, let me get varnish, so I could seal the paintings, especially for like if I sell them online, like or even in the gallery. Like they need to be sealed so they're protected, so they're people can clean them or whatever. So I asked Google's AI, I'm like, what do I get? And they're like, oh, get Liquitex, get this. Like, oh, okay, cool. So I went and I looked, and the Liquitex, I had it in my hand. It was like $16 for an 8-ounce bottle. I'm like, it's pricey, but it's probably, it needs to get done. And then I found, I found this Deco Art Duraclear Satin Varnish. And I wanted to do satin specifically because you can see kind of the light bouncing off this M&M painting here. Because that is the background's a glossy paint and the foreground is a matte paint, which I thought was a pretty cool look. And I wanted to kind of preserve that, so I thought maybe satin would be the best way to go. So I bought this. I'm wandering around Michael's and I found this Duraclear satin varnish, polyurethane satin varnish, Vernis de polyurethane satin. Anyway. And I followed the directions, and I took a painting that I'd fucked up, and I was like, I'm gonna just, because it's always recommended you test it first. So I'm like, yeah, I'll just do a little bit on this, and it was pulling up my black paint, which all the paintings have the same black paint. Like I got this giant jar of black paint. I guess a jar is probably not the word for it, but giant bottle of black paint. And I've been using that since I was doing the Brain Dead paintings back in over the summer. And so this shit ain't gonna work because it's pulling out my black paint. It's gonna look like shit. So now I got to order some more fucking clear coat stuff. And I was gonna do that today before the show. Like I had it in my cart. I wanted to get a roller because I did the Attitude Era Mankind last night on the 10x10 canvases, and I was gonna do and I did a white base coat before I put it on, and that seemed to work really well with the stencil stuff, to make the stencil stuff actually stay on the canvas when I'm pulling off the transfer tape. And but I did it with a brush, and I'm like, it'd be so much better with a roller and so much easier. So I went to go buy a small roller, and I'm like, well, I'm at it. I might as well get the spray can of the clear coat. So I got the Liquitex, and I had it in my cart, and I read the reviews, and the reviews are like, oh man, this stuff is the best. So like, all right, because like this was only $8.99, but I wasted my fucking money on this shit, right? Like, I'm not gonna use that. I also wasted my money because I bought like actual like materials that's supposed to be for stencils, but it would not cut properly and it would not weed properly, so I could not get a good stencil out of it. I tried 3 times. And I was like, nah, like I'm just this has just been a waste of $10. I'll just stick with the $5 rolls, of the shit I was already using. So I went to go order that online through Instacart, and Instacart's like, well, somebody who's 21 has to be at the door to get the order with their ID. Because it's technically spray paint, even though it's a clear coat, it's technically spray paint. So they need to verify that I'm old enough to buy spray paint. And the problem was even if I did express delivery, there was a chance it wouldn't get here till after 6. So I'm like, I still need to get ready for the show. And also I need to do the show, and it's not like my gaming stream where I have a button I can press and it says be right back, and then I just run off to the front door to get to show this guy my ID or whatever. So I'm like, I might as well just wait till tomorrow and just do it in the morning, just get it in the morning, or like go to, wherever and buy it. So yeah, I still don't have a clear coat, but I did buy all my packaging supplies today, so that's all coming, I think, Monday. So when my buddy does pay me for that Mankind picture, I can mail it out to him safely. I'm not old enough to buy spray paint. Spray paint would make my life so much easier. I don't want to get spray paint right now because it's summertime or because it's winter time, and like I'm not gonna go outside to spray paint. I got nowhere decent to spray paint in the house. But I figure with the clear coat, throw a song. Yeah, that was the thought that crossed my mind, but I'm like, you know how these DoorDash and Instacart drivers are? They fucking take their sweet ass time getting out of the car. So, you know, the chances of me getting back on time after, you know, before the song ends, who knows? I'm just going to probably go buy it tomorrow. Because I figured I could do that shit in the basement. That's just clear coat. I'm not going to worry about if I'm getting paint everywhere, you know? In the summertime though, I'll probably like just buy some spray paint, like black spray paint, or I saw Dewey got an airbrush, and I'm like, oh man, if I had an airbrush, that would make this like, that would make it so much easier because I'm gonna just do nice even coats. If I suddenly played a song, you don't think any of you would question? I mean, if you were around for the beginning of the Christmas Eve stream last week, you saw me fucking eat on stream. I literally had to go get the door to get my food, and I came back and I'm like just eating a burger on stream. Like we played Jingle Bell Stupid. You're a little bit behind, aren't you? No, yeah, I'm tired. I woke up at 4 o'clock, at like 3 o'clock today. So I went to bed at like 7 a.m. And I was like, I'm going to set an alarm for a reasonable time so I could get up and do some voiceovers. Then I can get music programmed for the show, and I can do promo by 3 o'clock. And next thing I know, I'm waking up at 3 o'clock. I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, I gotta put something out because I always put this out by 3 o'clock, my promo for the show. So I went on the ThinkSoJoE page. I'm like, I'm still in bed, but I'm doing a show today. Stay tuned for what we're playing. And then I came in here. You know, I got some breakfast. I came in here. I'm sitting here eating a bowl of Fruit Loops with marshmallows. And I know Steph's listening. She's like, "Why are you eating the Fruit Loops? It should be the Fruity Pebbles." And it's because I can't find them everywhere. That was the last thing I had though before the Fruit Loops was the Fruity Pebbles. But lost my train of thought. But yeah, no, I came in here and I'm like, okay, I got to find some events for this weekend, and there ain't shit going on this weekend. Also, Facebook's algorithm for events is fucked. I literally, like, we're about to play a song from an artist that's playing at Milky's this week. I had no idea this person, like, if I went through the events page, this was not going to stand out to me. Nor did I see it on the events page, and I believe they have an event page for this. Yeah, they totally do. The algorithm for events on Facebook is fucked right now. So I was going to like individual venue Facebook pages looking for events, and a lot of time that's not a great way to go about either, because bands, when they make their event pages, neglect to fucking make the venues hosts, which is the first thing I fucking do. If you go on the Brain Dead event page for the Makeover CD release, like, it is hosted by the Living Brain Dead and Nietzsche's. So I went to Milky's page, I went to Mohawk's page, I went to Good Bar's page, I went to Tudor's page. I didn't go to Nietzsche's page. I probably should have, because they're pretty good about saying who's playing. But I was just looking for. I went to the Mohawk, the Montage Music Hall page, because I'm like, I gotta find bands to play for the show, and I was having such a hard time, and I finally came up with bands to play, including bands and artists to play, including Angie Lucie, who's doing her music video premiere this Friday night at Milky's, 528 Elmwood Avenue in Buffalo, with performances by Spud, Christina Stock, and Angie Lucie herself. Doors are at 8 p.m. Music's at 9 p.m. The video premiere is at 10 p.m. It is $5, $15 at the door, 5 to 15 at the door. Pay what you can. All proceeds will go directly to the artists that produced the film. It was directed by Brandon Schleia and recorded and engineered by Kay Stucci. I am butchering those names. And it's presented by the Lavender Room. And if you can't make it, you can pre-order Rooted at angielucymusic.com.bandcamp. No, excuse me. angielucymusic.bandcamp.com/album/rooted. And this is that song. This song's called Rooted on All WNY. ThinkSoJoE Show.
See myself worthy, and everything that I touched would abandon me. It's saying, look at the way that she pulls out her soul. I can feel it in my bones. It's all a hoax, a performative show. Breaks me down with my own stone. So now I'm walking around with my heart on my sleeve, and I don't know what to feel, what to believe. I know I'm told that the curves came from long before, and that I got all I need to release and restore. It's saying, look at the way that she pulls out her soul. I'm exposing all the lies. It's all a hoax, a performative show. Deception's got nowhere to hide. Last night I swore that I heard it come creeping back. The voice was echoing tunes of some other flag. But when I looked deep inside to see what there might be, all that I saw was the truth that's inside of me. It's saying, look at the way that she pulls out her soul. I can't feel it anymore. It's all a hoax, a performative show. Rooted deep in my own core.
That was Angie Lucie on All WNY ThinkSoJoE Show. That song called Rooted. And you can see the world premiere of that music video Friday night at Milky's. 8 p.m. doors, 9 p.m. music. The video premiere is at 10 o'clock. Milky's at 528 Elmwood Avenue in Buffalo. They get a nice picture of Lance Diamond right at the top of their Facebook page. I forgot what I even mentioned you about, Max. I remember mentioning you, but I don't remember what the context was. I think it was like, if Max is listening, he blah blah blah. I don't know what the rest of it was, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. That's yeah, you can head out to Milky's on Friday night and you can see that, presented by Struggling Productions. And he doesn't have the other artists as co-hosts, but I will say that whenever Struggling Productions does an event, they put all the information in their event page. We talk about that all the time. It probably was something stupid. It absolutely was probably something stupid. I don't remember at all what it was, but probably something stupid. But yeah, no, so kudos to Ryan Gurnett for putting all the information in the event page. It makes it so much easier, not only on me, but for people who want to come to the event. You got all the details right there. That's me, man. I want to know, like, what are the ages? How much does it cost? What time does it start? I typically don't put what time the music starts because I just assume that everybody knows that I assume it's implied that if I say 7 p.m. doors, the music starts at 8 o'clock. But yeah, I don't know. I just yeah. I don't know why I said I was going to do full 2 hours today because I am barely awake and I have a shit ton of work to do after this, and I haven't eaten. Where's Jill? I need to brag to her about something. Jill is wherever Jill wants to be. I don't control where she goes. I'm always on standby if she needs me to be there with her, but I don't control where she goes. She's on her own. I was talking the other day about I texted my kid because I sold that Mankind painting, so it's like, oh, I can call myself a professional artist. 2, I got offered this gallery, and like my ex-wife has been painting for years. She gets in her own way. I will say this, like, I don't think she's ever done a gallery. But it is because she is in her own head and she thinks her artwork is not very good. Which I tell her artwork is amazing. She just has no, she just doesn't see it. So, as much as I think it's funny that I've been painting for a whole 2 weeks and I have been offered an art gallery already, like, and she's been painting her whole life and I don't think she's ever done one. Like, it's not really a brag because like it's a difference of like yeah, I know my shit's good. And she can't see that her shit's good. You know what I mean? So, but also, like, I didn't want to contact my ex-wife and be like, hey, guess what? You want to come to my art gallery? And I texted one of my best friends. Actually, he shot me a message while I was out buying art supplies yesterday. And I was like, yeah, dude, I'm out buying art supplies. I got offered a gallery, so I got to make a shit ton of paintings. And he goes, oh, interesting. I'm like, yeah, so I said the same thing that I told my kid, which was like, I think it's, I wonder how my ex-wife would feel about this. He's like, oh, you should invite her. I'm like, nah, I can't. Like, I can't be a dick like that. Like, I feel like I kind of feel guilty that like I've, been painting for 2 weeks and got offered a gallery and she's not done a gallery yet. Even though I've always told her artwork's great. She should do something with it. But it's neither here nor there. Like, I need money. I got offered a gallery. I'm going to go try and sell some paintings. So, simple as that. I got no qualms about if my paintings are good. And obviously, like, I'm sitting there with a critical eye. Like, this could have been better. Like, my Cactus Jack one the other day, I was like, I fucked this up so bad. But, like, when you're looking at it, it's street art, bro. Like, nobody can fucking tell that it's bad. If it's bad, because it's like, oh, it's just street art. It looks like it was done by somebody, some of my shit looked like it's done by somebody who was trying to hurry up and finish a fucking painting on a wall before a cop came or something, so. But then there's shit like this Eminem one right here, which is, I fucking love this Eminem one, how this came out. Joe's ex-wife's art is better than Joe's art. Yeah, probably. She doesn't believe it. She doesn't. I believe it. She doesn't. I used to do. What did I used to do? I used to draw. Right? Like I used to draw cartoon characters, and it wouldn't be like something of. It wouldn't be something like, oh, I'm gonna, I feel like drawing, Cosmo from the Fairly Odd Parents, and then I just sit down with a fucking pen, a pencil and a sheet of paper and fucking draw it. No, I'm sitting here with a how to draw Cosmo from the Fairly Odd Parents right in front of me, while I'm there's no beard. Why would you think it was me? That's me up there. That one. This one is Eminem. Anyway, yeah, but I would just sit there with like how to draw Cosmo from the Fairly Odd Parents, and I would just follow that to a T, and the drawings would come out pretty good most of the time because I'm just following like easy drawing instructions. Like, okay, I should start doing fanfic paint. No. No, and I'll tell you why is because like even this shit, like I didn't draw this shit. They're actual pictures of these people, and I just manipulate them in Photoshop. I cut out stencils and I paint them. It's simple fucking art. Anybody could do it if they have the right equipment, and. Which is the same of like my cartoon drawings. Like I would literally sit there with like a how to draw, a piece of paper and a pencil. And I bought a clipboard so I could like just have a hard surface to draw on. And my ex would look at these drawings I did, knowing full well that that's exactly what I fucking did. And she would just be, oh, you're such a good artist. I wish I was as good as an artist as you. Like, yeah, except for the fact that you are actually an artist painting shit just off the fucking, just looking at it. And I'm sitting here with a fucking how to draw, start with a circle. Like, I don't know how to fucking draw. If I didn't have stencils in Photoshop, I couldn't make these. And just even like the digital Photoshop is a godsend for me, man. Like I would not be able to do this shit if it wasn't like technology assisted. I make these stencils, they're machine cut stencils. And I put the stencils on the fucking canvas and I do all the painting myself. But like, yeah, that shit, it's just I got to figure out how to do this shit. Like this Taylor Swift one, it was like, I really want to do a Taylor Swift because the idea is to sell these, to do a gallery, to fucking put them up on Etsy, to fucking sell them, to get rid of them. I don't, so. But the idea when I wanted to do Photoshop pics of fan fiction, the idea when I was like, who's popular, who can I do a painting of, and I did a list through Google's AI of like culturally relevant people, and the very top of the list is Taylor Swift. And so I was like, all right, well that's a no-brainer because I know people who would. Oh, look, fucking spam in the fucking chat. Add to block list. Goodbye. Anyway. Yeah, so I was like, all right, well, Taylor Swift's an obvious fucking one to do. And my immediate thought was VMAs 2024. That fucking yellow plaid dress. Or whatever the hell that was. Like, that is the look I want to go with. And I immediately got it in my head, like, how do I do the yellow? Because before it was all just black and white with a background. Yeah, well, I just blocked him, so you can tell him to fuck off for me. Anyway, So I'm just sitting there like, how the fuck do I do the yellow? Like, because I don't, I could sit there and I can individually paint the yellow, but then like, if I get the yellow over the black, you're gonna see it. So it's like I want to do the yellow as a layer, and so I had to figure out how to do that in like Photoshop and then translate it to the software, and um, then it's like also like I want to add the red lips because it didn't look right without the lips, and it was like, how do I fucking do this? And so I just did like this really crude like outline of where the yellow was supposed to go on the painting, and like cut out that as a layer with the lips in it, because then that way it's like, okay, well, I can just match this up to where it goes instead of having to like measure or figure out like something to figure out what the so like I came up with the idea of how to do it, and then I started doing it, and without the foreground, without like the top layer of the black, it's just like, this looks really fucking ridiculous. I might actually have a picture. Let me see if I can find a picture of like what these fucking canvases look like before the paint actually goes on them. Because I know I've been taking pictures like throughout the process. I just don't know if I have. No, I don't. I thought I had a picture of like the Britney Spears before I put the fucking before I put the like black, like all the details in. So it's just a canvas, and it's the outline of Britney Spears, but it's just the red and yellow, like the red jumpsuit and the hair, but there's no detail in it, so it just looks like a fucking 12-year-old drew it, you know? Actually, I got the Mankind one. That's what I'll do. Let me see. Save image. I'll show you what these look like, kind of in the process. Come on. It's not loading my fucking. Why is it not loading? It's not loading my downloads folder. There it goes. All right. And then the finished one. Download. All right. So yeah, like when I'm doing, before I put the detailed layers down. So this is the Mankind one that my buddy bought. You could see like there's no detail. It just looks ridiculous. It looks like, man, this is not gonna look good, you know. And then let's see, remove, yes. But then you put that detail layer down, and it's oh, there's Brian. Oh, this picture's fucking huge. Hold on, let me resize this here. Transform, fit to screen. There you go. So you got this that's what it looks like after the details. So it's crazy how ridiculous this shit looks as it's going along. I never know what these are gonna actually look like until they're done. So it's been interesting trying to do, especially these ones with the color. Like that Britney Spears one was like, this looks ridiculous, and then I put the colors on. It's like, oh, this doesn't look so ridiculous. This actually looks pretty good. No, you're not the director. You don't get to tell me what to do. I'm the director. I get to tell me what to do. I mean, Mick Foley's a good-looking guy, so yeah, I can, yeah. But no, I'm not putting the picture back up. I've already removed it from my list of things that are that are available to me to put on screen. I'm not drinking Coca-Cola. I own stock in Coca-Cola though, so everybody else should drink Coca-Cola. Me, I'm gonna stick with Pepsi. I own 1 share of stock in Coca-Cola, and I think it's less now than I paid for it in the first place. But I've also like, but like then there's Reddit that I own 1 stock in, and I've like quadrupled my money. 1 share of, I guess, is probably the proper way to say that. I've like quadrupled what I paid for Reddit. And I don't typically use Reddit. I did though when I did because Coca-Cola stock is it's I bought the Coca-Cola stock, 1 because I know they do like quarterly dividends, and 2 because of the Bloodhound Gang. Have you been having problems with YouTube on your Roku? I don't know. I don't use my Roku that often. And when I do, it's typically not for YouTube. So I don't know. I can maybe try later and let you know, but I haven't tried it. I don't know. I got to do the Bloodhound Gang. I got to do them as like monkeys from the Bad Touch video, because that was a big video on TRL. I don't know if people would be like into like the Bloodhound Gang though enough to buy a painting on like, you know, Eminem or Britney Spears or NSYNC or Spice Girls. The Spice Girls are surprisingly hard to like actually do a street art style painting of. Because like the pictures of them back then, like it's either like Mel B doesn't look right, or Emma's face is completely gone. So I like really had to fuck with that photo before I could turn it into the street art style. But my Spice Girls picture came out pretty good, I think. So, and I shared the story of back when I was younger and I was downloading stuff off the internet, off of like, I should do a painting of Bob Paul. Rest in peace, Bob Paul. I was telling the story. I shared the story when I posted my Spice Girls painting of when I was younger and I was downloading stuff off of like underground IRC chats instead of Napster. Like I wouldn't use First of all, Napster was slow as fuck. Second of all, I was on Metallica's side because Metallica. But I was still downloading music and everything. So I used to go on these IRC underground chats, and you'd be able to, like, people would use bots to distribute content that they had on their computers. And one of the people that I was looking at their content, they had what looked like a very intriguing video file. And this is back in dial-up days. So this video file took me like a week to download. Because also, like, I couldn't be on the computer all the time because my mom needed to use the phone. This is before cell phones. So I was just kind of like, you know, on the internet maybe a couple hours a day. So every day for like a couple hours, I'm downloading more and more of this file. And finally, after like a week, I get this file and I open the file, and that is when I learned that the Spice Girls have a song called Naked. I tell that story way too often. But, you know, I was a teenager. What do you expect? 50, really? She don't look like, they all look amazing still. All 5 of them. At least I assume they do. I don't know when the last time I saw a picture of Mel C was. But yeah. Yeah, but I did that Spice Girls painting, and that was like, I want to do the British flag in the background. And when it came time to actually do it, I'm like, wait, how the fuck do I actually do this? So I actually had to do the background stencil with the flag attached to it so I could cut it properly and paint it properly. And then I'm looking at the British flag and I didn't realize like the lines are kind of offset. Like I thought they were like right in, like the red lines were in the middle of the white lines, but they're not. It's like, oh, okay. So I had to find like a vector of the British flag and break it down into and make it into. But yeah, I pulled it off. It looked good. So I was happy with it. Does Joe know what? Yes, I know what the British flag looks like. I just never paid that much fucking attention to it because I'm an American and we don't give a fuck what happens outside this country. For the most part. But yeah, no, I don't. I was playing this like solitaire game on Facebook for a little while, and it was like you would play against people from all over the world, and you'd see their country flags. And I was starting to get pretty good at like what flags were for what country, but you know, I haven't played in a while, so I probably wouldn't know. Yeah, I didn't know it was possible to put the UK flag upside down. I legit thought, honestly, that the red lines were in the center of the white lines. I thought it was like perfectly symmetrical no matter how you looked at it. Like if you flipped it upside down, it would be the same either way. But I have now realized that I was wrong about that. I didn't know. I'm like this. Like I'm looking at it, I'm like, this doesn't look right. And then I went on Wikipedia. I'm like, well, Wikipedia's got the same flag, so okay, it's got to be right. So, you know, thankfully, I decided to actually cut a stencil for the flag instead of like, oh, I'm just going to paint it because I know how to paint it because I used to draw the flag when I was playing with my action figures, you know, back in the day, and I had the British Bulldog, so I would draw like a UK flag because like back then it was when they were doing like the projector into the ring. So you would have like the dollar signs for the $1 Million Man or like the British flag for the British. So I was like, that was my way of doing it was I would, you know, draw the drawings on a piece of paper and put them in the middle of the ring. So I would always draw the British flag for the British Bulldog. And I never realized like I was doing it wrong. So yay, I learned something new this past week. I think we'll get back to the TRL paintings soon, but I still got 4 more of these 4x10 or 10x10 canvases. Britain is made up of 3 countries. Only 3 of them have their own flag. I don't know shit about Britain. So there were some dudes. There used to be a game on Facebook called Wrestler. And I would play that, and there was these dudes with the same last name as me, and we became friends. And I said, you know, you British, and they were like, we're Welsh. Like, oh, oops. I don't know the difference, man. And then I almost dated somebody from the UK, and that was, you know, I probably would have learned stuff about the UK. But that didn't work out, so yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so I know a little, I don't know much. It's not really, you know, like I said, I live here, I don't plan on going there. I don't, you know, if I go there, then I'll learn all that shit, but I don't think that's happening anytime soon, so, you know, I live here, I know about here. I barely know about here. Like, you ask me to identify states on a map, I'll be like, Actually, I was watching the game show The Floor, hosted by Rob Lowe, which season premiere was a couple of weeks ago. Season finale was a couple of weeks ago. But on this season, they had a dude whose expertise was state capitals. And somebody challenged him, and he fucking bombed it. He was terrible at it. And the reason was because they were showing him the outline of the state. And he had to name the state capital of the state by what the shape of the state was. And I'm like, I would do well at state capitals if you gave me the name of the state. I would do okay, because I was just thinking of Rob Paulson on no, it was actually Jess Harnell on Animaniacs. Baton Rouge. No, was it? Was Wacko? Was yeah. No, it was Rob Paulson, because it was Wacko. So my brain just goes Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Indianapolis, Indiana, and Columbus is the capital of Ohio. And I'm just like, so I think I would do okay at state capitals, but you show me the outline of the shape of the state, I don't know it. Just like that, dude. So he got eliminated in his own category, and as he's walking off, he's like, I didn't think it was gonna be that format. Like, yeah, that would fuck me up too. But it is time for a song break. And, this is a band we got to play with over the course of the past year. We played with them in Rochester in 2024, along with, of course, Green Jello on that show. They actually used our drum kit. And, this is happening here. Okay, this is at Mohawk Place. This is what I had to, like I said, I went through like different venues trying to find shows to play music from this weekend, and this is happening in Mohawk Place Saturday night at 6 p.m. It is FTMP Events presents Sevagoth, Elusive Travel, Arcana, Into the Light, Venom Mob, and Disorderly House. Saturday, January 4th, 18 plus, ID required, no ID, no entry. Doors open at 6 p.m. at Mohawk Place, 47 East Mohawk Street here in Buffalo. Tickets from $16.55 to $19.75 on Eventbrite. And this is our boys in Venom Mob, and this song is called No, You Rock on All WNY. ThinkSoJoE Show.
Throw your
That was the homies in Venom Mob, the song called No, You Rock on all WNY Think So Joe show. Great times playing with that band. We've played with them a couple of times, but you know, it was a lot of fun doing Green Jello last year. Except for having to stay out till 2:30 in the fucking morning because they were using John's drum kit and we couldn't leave. We couldn't go get fucking garbage plates. I will say I'm tired of playing Rochester and not being able to get garbage plates. Because we played Rochester twice, with the plan being after the show we're gonna go get garbage plates, and couldn't fucking do it. Because when we played with Green Jello, they played till 2:30 in the fucking morning and everything was closed except for Denny's after they were done. And we were like, we're hungry, we need to eat. And we ended up at Denny's. Poor Kirsten had to fucking stay up waiting for us till like 3 in the fucking morning, till 3:30 maybe, when we finally got to her house to crash. And then the last time we played Rochester was in December. Was it November? I don't know when the fuck it was, but it was the Hardcore for the Homeless show, and it was the first like really big snowfall here in Buffalo. So we were like, all right, we're going to go get garbage plates after the show. And then after the show, it's like, we can't go get garbage plates because we don't know what the weather's like at home and we don't want to get stuck. So let's go home. So still have not been able to get garbage plates anytime we play in Rochester. Maximo's playing the Bug Jar this weekend and doubts he'll have I didn't see now if I would have known that. I would have probably played something off your show. I didn't know. This fucking Facebook algorithm is shit, dude. Like, I also don't think I fucking put in Rochester. Maybe I did. I don't know. Usually, like, I'll go Buffalo, New York music events from Thursday through next Wednesday, and like and then I'll do Rochester. And I don't think I did Rochester. I specifically did look at Montage, and they were having some metal genre night. And they're like, it's like emo night, except with this. Like, okay, I get you. I thought it was bands. I was like, all right, cool, I'm going to take a band from that. Like, nope, there was no bands. But yeah, no, man, I've been wanting to get, like, every time I fucking play Rochester, something happens where I can't get a fucking garbage plate. Like when I played with Yellow Sauce, we were trying to go to Henrietta Hots, and like we got there and the sign on the door says they're open till 4 a.m. It's 11 p.m. But there's nobody inside. Snaggletooth and Panic and some other band you can't remember right now. All right, there you go. Everybody go see Bastard Bachelors this weekend. I am out of town this weekend, so I cannot rate 2025 so far out of 10. I've only been awake for like 3 hours of it, so it's okay. 6 out of 10 so far. We'll see. I'm super looking forward to this weekend, so we'll see how this weekend goes, and then I'll let you know how 2025 is gonna go, because this is literally like, John and I are like, let's go see the tree. Let's get out of Buffalo. Let's go see the tree before they take it down. We were trying to go last month. We just didn't have the time to do it. So we found out when they're taking the tree down, and we're like, let's go before that. And now we're going to see the tree in Rockefeller Center. And John was like, we got to go see where you got to take me to where they caught the sticky bandits at the end of Home Alone 2. I'm like, yes, I will take you there. Hopefully the weather doesn't suck, because we're going to be in Central Park. You and me both, Laura. I am looking forward to the show. Actually, when the show is over, I'm going to eat something. And once I eat something, then I'll hopefully have some energy, because I have a lot of fucking work to get through tonight. And I'm going to be painting in between work. So, but yeah. Good night, Laura. Enjoy your nap. I will see you next week. But I'm looking forward to actually going to New York and getting I love wandering around New York City. I don't care. I've never been there in the winter though. Like, I've only been there like in warm months. Like, I went to see Metallica there. That was in August. I went to shoot a movie there. That was in like June. I should have eaten a burger on stream again. So I've been making like chicken sandwiches. Because I got like the Tyson chicken patties that I can throw in the air fryer, and I got hamburger buns and Swiss cheese. And the problem with that is like, and I bought some mushrooms, and like the problem with that is like I had a bacon mushroom, or I had a mushroom Swiss burger at Wendy's a couple of months ago. And the reason I did was because I was out door dashing with John, and he was like, "Ew, that sounds gross." And I was like, "Actually, that might be what I order when I get home." And that's exactly what I ordered when I got home. And so I'm like trying to make mushroom Swiss burgers, because I got Swiss and I got mushrooms and I got chicken patties. I'm like, something is fucking missing. Like, what is missing? So I went to Tops, and I'm just wandering through Tops. I'm like, what can I get? So I got this like garlic Parmesan sauce, and I used that. I'm like, this is great. This stuff is amazing. It's not what I'm looking for, though. So I finally just Googled, like, what does Wendy's put on their fucking mushroom Swiss burgers? And it was like, oh, you want what the fuck was it? Like garlic aioli. Like, really? Okay, so I bought some garlic aioli, and I used that. I'm like, this is what I've been wanting. This is exactly what I was. So now I'm kind of torn, because I'm like, do I want to just throw one of the, another chicken patty in the air fryer, make a fucking sandwich? Because basically, like, it's either that or some mac and cheese or fucking oatmeal or cereal or DoorDash something. And I'm leaning towards DoorDash something, because if I DoorDash something now, then I can just save the chicken sandwich for later. So I'm probably, like, when I get off the air here, I'm going to order some Mighty, I think. I mean, I'll probably just look through the list, like, what else can I get? I kind of want Mighty, but maybe I'll order, like, a personal pizza from Leo's or something. I have no idea, but yeah, I didn't want to eat on stream. I ate before I came out. Like, I ate a bowl of cereal when I got up and I was programming the music, and that was at like 3 o'clock. So, yeah, I know Mighty Taco sounds pretty good right now. I haven't ordered from DoorDash in a while. If I have, it's been like art supplies instead. Like, Dewey was making fun of me last week because I was talking about I ordered fucking art supplies off Uber Eats on Christmas Eve, just so I could do paintings through Christmas. So yeah, I might do Mighty tonight. I don't know. Kind of trying to not spend a lot of money. Those of you that know why, but yeah. Which hopefully by this time next week we'll have that all figured out. So hopefully by this time next week I'll know what my budget is for actually spending money and buying things and ordering food, and because right now I'm just like, I'm not spending money on anything unless I think it's gonna get me a return on investment. So like I've been buying art supplies because I'm setting up to do this gallery that I think I can sell some paintings at. But I also need, like, I have the Etsy store, so I'm like, I gotta get shit to ship out paintings. So I'm like, I don't know the first thing about this. So I asked Google's AI, Gemini, I'm like, what do I do to ship out a painting? And it's like, well, you need bubble wrap, and you need cardboard, and you need boxes, and you need this, and you need that, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Like, I don't have any of that shit. I got some cardboard from, like, records, buying records, and that I've hung on to, and I've got some bubble wrap basically from the same thing. But I'm like, nah, so I'm like, well, I've got this stuff to send out. And anybody who ordered, like, brain dead shit straight from us has gotten these blue fucking packages that are just self-adhesive bubble wrap. So I'm like, can I just use that? And it's like, no, you can't use it. You got to protect your painting. So it's like, you want to get a good box, and you want to get cardboard, and you want to get bubble wrap, and you want to get corner protectors, and you want to get all this shit. And I'm like, well, fuck, man. So I'm like on Amazon. And it's like, all right, bubble wrap's cheap. It's like $15 for a huge ass roll. Cardboard is not terrible. You know, also like parchment paper is not terrible. These corner things are actually relatively inexpensive. And then I get to the boxes and it's like, yeah, for 50 boxes, it's $96. I'm like, no, like there's gotta be a cheaper fucking alternative. Hey, Litos, what's up? There's gotta be a cheaper alternative, right? So I'm like going through, I finally found, I think I paid like $30 for some boxes. But there's only like 25 of them, but I don't, you know, if I sell paintings, then cool, I have more money to buy more boxes to sell more paintings, but you know, it is what it is. It's an expense. And then I had to open a new bank account for business expenses, but I was going to put money into it so I could buy all this shit out of that. But the problem was I can't put the money in until, like, if I went to put the money in, it wouldn't be in there because I would have to wait till after, because today's a bank holiday. So start putting money in there tomorrow. I should make a Spider-Man painting. Maybe. Right now I'm doing the music thing. I took the detour for the wrestling thing because like I thought I was out of material, but as it turns out, there's a whole ass box of material right here. So you get them on these rolls, right? So and it don't matter what color they are. But you get them on these fucking rolls. And I'm like, I'm out of rolls of this shit. No, these are fucking like 10-foot rolls. And then on top of that, I got this big ass roll right here that I forgot about. So I ordered like these 30-foot rolls of this shit. And I thought I had I was telling this story earlier, I thought I had like 12-foot square pieces of the stuff. So I was like, or 12-inch square pieces. So I'm like, I'm going to buy 10-inch canvas. And I got the 10-inch canvas and realized the 12-inch square shit was fucking heat transfer vinyl. So it wasn't going to work. If I do a painting of myself, Max will hang it above his bed. So there actually exists a painting of me in this style that I did. See if I can find it. I'm going to have to probably go way the fuck back to find it. Or it's right up front here. Yeah, I'm going to have to go all the way the fuck back to when I did them, which was over the summer. So there's paintings of all of us from the summer. All the brain dead, all the members of Living Brain Dead. And I'm trying to find mine right now. I'll show you. Okay, I did it before the Elmo drawing, so I'm still on the path to find it. Here we go. Yeah, this exists. Let's just save as. It was in the Falls Count Anywhere theme? No. No, we haven't done that. So we consciously got away from the Falls Count Anywhere shit. Like, very consciously. Like, we insisted upon, like, we need to get away from that color scheme. Because we did Falls Count Anywhere, and then when we did Catgirls, the artist did it in the Falls Count Anywhere colors. And it was like, okay, well, you know, we'll go with that. And then, but by time we came around to like, we're gonna do bar horror, it's like, we need to not do these fucking colors. We need to get away from these colors. I don't, you know, like they were meant specifically for Falls Count Anywhere, and so we started doing everything in those colors because we were promoting Falls Count Anywhere. And then it just became like, oh, this is their color scheme. Like, no, that's not our color scheme at all. Let's see. I didn't mean to open that. I meant to drag that in here. But yeah, here's me. This is me. This is actually me in Rochester at the Montage Music Hall. Taken by my friend Kirsten, who did the Never Fuck with Catgirls cover. But yeah, that's a painting of me based on a picture she did, that she took, because we hired her while we were out there. So a painting of me does exist. Not in Falls Count Anywhere style though. I did. So I did one for every member of the band. We did one for Brian, in memoriam of Brian, and we had him up in our band space, and then we moved band spaces, so now they're just sitting on a shelf somewhere. Yes, Jasmine does not know me when I don't wear a hat. I am not wearing a Tool shirt in that picture, but very observant because it is in the style of the Tool logo, and it says drool. That was I made that shirt specifically for that show because Maynard used to be in Green Jello. So I was like, what can I do? And I downloaded the Tool font, and it was either going to say fool or it was going to say drool. And I was like, fool didn't look right, so I made it say drool. So I have a t-shirt for wearing to shows that says drool in the style of the Tool font. Yeah. But yeah, that was actually that painting of me was the first ever street art painting I did. Because I got the idea of, hey, I got this vinyl cutter. Why don't I cut some vinyl? Why don't I make a street art style drawing of myself in Photoshop, and then I'll transfer it into the Cricut, and then I'll cut an outline, and I'll cut the details, and that was the first time I did that. And I had like, I had this. This is Artist's Touch Fine Art Studio acrylic paints, which I bought at Hobby Lobby before I realized how shitty Hobby Lobby actually is. So actually, yeah, there's no barcode on here because they don't believe in fucking barcodes. So I did that with like these paints, or maybe if I could get over here. Maybe these paint, like there's acrylics and oil paints and watercolors and shit in here. So I did that with those paints. I think I might have had I think I bought the black paint after. So I had like all this. That was bugging me. I could see it in the shot. Hobby Lobby probably plays Headstrong in the shows or in the story. Yeah. Anyway. Fucking Becky's. Fucking love Becky's. That was if we weren't going to New York this week, my second choice was Cleveland. But we wanted to do New York so we could see the fucking tree in Rockefeller Center before they take it down. But Cleveland would have been my second choice, and we would have absolutely fucking ended up back at Becky's. But yeah, so I was doing it out of just these like little fucking tubes of acrylic paint, and then I was like starting to do the next painting, which I think was it John or was it? I don't remember who the next painting was. Let me see. Let me get out of here because that's not where I want to be. Yeah, so the next painting. Oh no, Nick was the next painting apparently, and then John. So I bought like this black paint, and it turned out to be like really shitty like black paint. I think it was like the Hobby Lobby like house brand, or not the Hobby Lobby, fucking Michael's house brand. I got Hobby Lobby on the brain now, and it was just like really fucking runny. So I was like, "What's the really good shit my ex used to buy?" And it's Apple Barrel or some shit like that. So Carl Scully Winslow, I could do that. Yeah, so I started using this black paint, and then I've bought like all bunch of like I got all the primary colors in like a bigger fucking size. I swear I bought some golden gray paint, which is like the really fucking expensive fancy fucking brand, but I can't find it. I even cleaned out the fucking other room yesterday, and because I was looking for my roller and I couldn't find that either. Because I swear I bought one. But yeah, so I bought a pack of canvases and just painted all those. Somebody I think Maximo suggested Bob Paul earlier. Yeah, when I get done with my gallery stuff, because I got to do this TRL stuff. Like that's, I think what the gallery is going to be is just like artists who were big on TRL, and I'm going to do a DJ set with all the TRL stuff. Maybe I'll do some local music stuff after, like with the mascots. But yeah, I just started doing this, started randomly doing street art, and then sitting around the other day, like, what can I do to make some more money? I'm like, why don't I just do like celebrity street art? So I did, the first one I did was Josh Allen, like hurtling over the dude from the Chiefs or whatever, and paint Bob Paul for my gallery. But yeah, the first one I did was Josh Allen hurtling over the dude from the Chiefs, and I posted on Facebook, and the very first fucking comment is Steph, like, you don't even like the Buffalo Bills. I'm like, no, but I like money, and I live in Buffalo, and I'm trying to sell this. So it would behoove me to do Josh Allen and not Brock Purdy. And I did, and nobody fucking offered me anything for the Josh Allen painting, and it's up on my Etsy store right now, 716craft.com. We'll take you to that listing, but yeah, it's like I thought of selling this Josh Allen painting because I thought like it would go like that. Instead, I got somebody reaching out like, "Hey, can you do Mankind?" Yeah, I can do Mankind. Which Mankind? And now I've done all 3 faces of Foley. I've done 4 straight. My last 4 paintings have been of Mick Foley. So it's like, I got to come up with something to do tonight in between jobs. Like, I can probably go back to the TRL stuff because I have obviously plenty of, like I showed you, I got plenty of material to actually fucking do this with now. I don't got to wait for these 30-inch rolls to come in. You should host an annual Joe Gala, and it could also be a barbecue. So I was watching football, Monday Night Football. I already did John Cena. I shared it last week. Let me find it here. Last week. This one? Yeah, here it is. Here's my John Cena painting. I shared it. Oh, hold on. There's my John Cena painting. Isn't it great? That's the joke. You can't see. That was a Final Jeopardy clue on Pop Culture Jeopardy. I'm like, why the fuck didn't I get on this show? It was like, oh, somebody dared a wrestler to do a dance and a catchphrase, and it became this phrase. And I'm like, it's got to be "you can't see me," right? and sure enough, that was the Final Jeopardy clue. I'm like, I could have fucking done this. Like, yeah. No, so for real though, like I actually have John Cena painting like ready to go. But again, I want to get away from like doing like, but that's designed for the 11x14 canvases. And I want to do, I got these 10x10 canvases, so I want to do like maybe another set, because I'm gonna sell, like I'm selling the 1996 Mankind to my buddy Joe, who was the one who asked me, hey, can you do Mankind? So he's gonna buy that, and the reason I did a second Mankind painting of like Attitude Era with Mr. Sacco was like, if I do this, I can sell it in with the other 2 faces of Foley. Do Prince? Prince would be fucking awesome, wouldn't it? I don't know if I get any purple paint. That might I might have to blend shit for. It's apparently time to go because my mic just died. And it is almost 8 o'clock. Stevie Wonder, David Bowie. So I'm going to come up with shit to do on these 10x10s right now. And then I'm going to go back, probably tomorrow or when I get back from New York to the, I have Snoop Dogg already designed. Got a Snoop Dogg and a Dr. Dre already designed. So yeah, I'm going to eventually, you guys get the good mic. You get the $400 mic for the rest of the show, which is ending like right now. But yeah, I've got a Snoop Dogg drawn up. I've got a Dr. Dre. I've got a whole folder of shit that's already drawn up that I just haven't actually done yet. Alex Tuck of the Sabres. There's a Blink 182 that's not from the TRL, like a modern Blink 182. Dr. Dre, Fred Durst. There's a few. Oh, maybe I didn't save some of these. But there was a Dr. Dre. There was definitely a Snoop Dogg. There's a modern Blink 182. Not doing a dude, I got to get to work. I got to eat. I got to get to work. I have like a shit ton of work due by like 5 a.m. So, yeah, I actually really do have to get out of here. One of these days, though, I will stick around. Yeah, one of these days we'll do it. One of these days we will do it. Probably when John's here. But for right now, there's a Homer Simpson painting on my wall in my dining room that I did. I was actually, so the other day, I'm back here, I'm painting. I went out to the kitchen to get something, and my cat Snowball's like trying to follow me back here. And I'm like, no, dude, you can't come back here. I'm in the middle of painting. The last time I painted was when I did a Bart Simpson painting. The last time I painted around him was when I was doing a Bart Simpson painting, and, you know, I walked away for a second. The next thing I knew, this cat runs through my fucking palette. So now there are little black fucking paw prints all over my fucking floor that I got to clean up because this fucking asshole ran through my palette. Hush Hush was good. They were good. It took them a minute to get started because their laptop froze on them or something. So they had to reboot their laptop before they could actually play music. So, you know, but otherwise, you know, I think they're better live than they are on their recorded stuff. So, you know, which is, again, what we're trying to avoid when we release Makeover on the 15th, because we're on March 15th, because we're like, we want it to sound like us. We don't want it to sound like some band went in the studio and now we're covering it live, you know, like we want it to sound like us, and it mostly does, and we're happy with it. But I really do actually have to get out of here. But next Wednesday, after the Think So Joe show, this is Wednesday, January 8th at 8:30 p.m. It is the Music is Art Showcase featuring Sons of Luther and Prairie Pavement. Join us for our monthly showcase at Jackrabbit this month featuring Sons of Luther and Prairie Pavement. Come mingle with other Buffalo musicians and industry professionals in a top-notch music venue and see some of the immense talent Buffalo has to offer. That is at 1010 Elmwood Avenue. It is 21 and up, and it is free to attend. Again, Sons of Luther and Prairie Pavement. I ain't promising nothing, man. If we're feeling it and we go and I don't have a shit ton of work, then yeah, maybe. But this week I got a shit ton of work and I'm by myself and I'm hungry and I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to order food. I'm going to watch wrestling and I'm going to get straight to work. Call on show. What are you doing now? Anyway, this is Sons of Luther. This song is called Never Say Never. And I will see you next week. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe right here on All WNY Think So Joe Show.